Hi, everybody. Welcome to ThNOT, Thursday night on tour. I'm your host, Nick Cartell. I play Jean Valjean on the national tour of Les Miserables, and I use my Thursday night lives as an educational forum to invite folks out there to get a peek kind of what goes on behind the scenes here on a national tour, and also to introduce you to all the different folks that make everything happen here at Les Mis. And I am so excited to have my guest with me tonight. If you don't mind introducing yourself and saying what you do here.
Hi, everybody. My name's Brendan Stackhouse, and I am the resident director here at Les Mis.
That is correct. And you are kind of the man that like holds the Bible for us in a way. You know what I mean? Like and so can you tell us what are your responsibilities as the resident director?
Sure. So it's basically anything that happens on stage, sort of maintaining that and making sure that that stays within the vision of the original directors, which changes every once in a while. And then...
that changes and adjusts as new people join the show, because nothing, from my understanding, nothing is truly, there's a few things that are set in stone.
Yes.
But a lot of it is up for, new people come in with new ideas and new frameworks of how they work, and so that's kind of adjusted on everybody, correct?
Yes, okay. Totally. And so, as you said, a lot of it is like getting those new people integrated into essentially the world of the show, first of all.
Oh, goodness. This is just like tuning over. Sorry, y'all. My little gimbal thing is just adjusting on its own, and I'm just back. Hello, everybody. Are we back? Are we still here? Somebody comment. I'm going to set this here because the little gimbal thing isn't working. 8 people. Okay, we're back. We're back. Great.
Amazing.
Great. We're going to keep going. We're going to set it there so that way then it doesn't fall off and go crazy. Anyway, hi, everyone. Sorry about that. What you were saying.
So the bulk of my job recently has been getting sort of all of the new folks into the show, as you said.
Yeah.
And that's a blast because you get to introduce new people to the world of the show, which is really cool. And I think people think that they know our show, and then when you're sort of in it, it's sort of a completely different life, and so that piece is really fun.
Thank you, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
So what do you feel like is, what do you, when it comes to putting somebody into the show, right? Because we as, like you said, we as actors come in with our own ideas so what is the first day, if you were brand new and you were joining Les Mis, what would be the first thing you would do on the first day?
We talk a lot. I call it like the story of Les Mis. I sit there with the new, and this changes depending upon how much time we have and if it's an emergency situation, but I sit there and we kind of really talk through essentially from beginning to end the story of Les Mis from the perspective of the ensemble. So things like the whole idea with the French Mediterranean island and the jet at the beginning of the show, and
jet, for those that may be wondering, that is what Valjean's factory, that's what everybody made in the factory, was jet. So all of the female identifying ensemble are polishing jet or rocks that are on the table. That's what they're all doing right at the beginning.
Yeah. So. And we talk about sort of the causes in Paris with the children, and at this time, there's this statistic I always use that was taught to me by the directors when I got into the show, but at the time when Paris takes place, 30% of children under the age of 9 or don't live past the age of 9. So it's things like that informs sort of the underbelly of the story there that I think people don't necessarily know when they're watching the show, but I think it helps add that sort of grit to the piece. And then we talk about the people's song, and so I tell basically the story of Les Mis top to bottom.
But through the eyes of this show.
Yes, but
and how we're going to tell the story.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like what is your, two questions. What is your favorite part of telling this or doing this job? What is your favorite part about it? Let's start there.
I love... there's a lot of different parts. No 2 days are the same because you're dealing with... We also have a show that is, as Nick said, is set in many ways, but in other ways is not. And so you're sort of meeting the actor where they are,
right,
as far as that's concerned, and sort of building around them. And so that piece is really fun. It's super fun to put in a principal and put in a principal cover too, because you're finding the language that gets them sort of embedded into the piece. So that's a lot of fun. So those are probably my two biggest things, is one, that no day is the same.
Yeah.
And so there's it keeps it interesting, and 2, putting in principal roles.
All right, there you go.
Super interesting.
Come on in. Hi, Jan. I'm live on YouTube right now, but I'm here. We're doing well. I'm gonna hand that to you. So somebody did ask, and I should have asked this earlier. How did you? What is your schooling? How did you get into this job? How did you know that this is what you wanted to do?
Sure. So
Let's go way back and start there.
to directing period.
Yes.
Okay, so this goes back to when I was in 8th grade in high school. We had this, I'm from right outside Philadelphia, and we had this requirement that you had to do a certain number of community service hours in order to graduate high school. It was a state requirement in Pennsylvania that has since gone away, and I hate that. But that's beside the point. And so I was doing my community service hours at the local library that had just been renovated. And in the local library that had just been renovated, there was this beautiful like community room space. And so I went to the head children's librarian and was like, I'm going to do theater here. And she said, sure.
I love that.
And so I started a little theater company in my freshman year of high school, the summer between 8th grade and freshman year. And it grew and it grew and it built, and we got funding, and we were, by the time I was done with it, 12 years later, we finally finished, because that was 08, 12, yeah. We were like, we had equity contracts, and we're paying people, and we were sort of all over the place. And that was sort of the playground that I really got into directing in, because I was doing things I liked.
Sorry, I forgot to give gloves.
Oh, that's fine.
Thanks, Jan.
And sort of, and the when you're a director, I think, and other people's experiences are, that's the other thing about this industry in general, it's relative to people's personal experience. There's no one size fits all. But you really learn a lot by failing, and you learn a lot by sort of doing things rough and wrong. And so that was how I sort of got my feet wet in this field. And as I said, the company grew.